allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Opening, setting of agenda for the meeting. Are there any additions?
Yes, we do have
corrections?
some corrections to make. The consent agenda addition 2.3, claims 1 and 2 have been added. And then in the business transactions, we are removing consider revision to the PCSC employee handbook and also consider revisions to the classified condition of employment.
Okay.
And then business transaction has been added. We have plenty of time now for Ted Brown to give us some information on safety.
We love that.
We do love that. We always love it.
All right. We've heard the additions and corrections. Is there a motion to set the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion carries. Audience participation on agenda items. Are there any items that the audience would like to talk about? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Are there any items that you'd like to pull out of the consent agenda? Anybody? No? No. Then I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Item 3, business transactions. 3.1, report on PCSC safety and security. Mr. Brown. Director Brown.
Thank you. Some of the new things that we're doing for our safety and security. Number 1 is the emergency procedures have been, and then they're in the process of being updated. That has to be certified within 30 days of being in school. So Mitch and I will send that down to the state to make sure that everything is good there. Each school is right now going through their specific guidelines for their buildings to make sure that nothing has changed. Actually, I'm meeting with somebody here next week to go over some of his new items, but we'll let that and talk about that. This summer we did a active shooter drill at our junior high. That was with the state police, Plymouth Police, Marshall County Sheriff's Department, the Plymouth Fire Department, Plymouth EMS. And it was more than just active shooter drill. It was a mass casualty drill. And we learned a ton of things that not only we as the school corporation need to improve on, but working together with the agencies in our community. Tomorrow we actually have a meeting at the fire department to go over all of the information that we saw. So it was really good for me. I've seen the police side many, many times, but to see what we're going to actually need to do as a school, there's a lot of things that we still need to work towards to get better at. We're way ahead of the curve, but we can get much better. And then the last thing that we're looking at is our one county, one protocol. And we're seeing some great strides on that too. So every school corporation in Marshall County is going to the basic same procedures and wording. Right now I've dropped off our posters at Bowen, and I'm waiting for them to come back so we can get those up and in our buildings. But the good things that we're seeing, the superintendents and stakeholders that are sitting around at the table, we're moving more towards getting ourselves prepared for individual drills in situations across the board that are going to help us to be able to handle situations as they come up. So we're doing some really good training. Mitch had Clyde Avery come in. He did a training course on incident command system and the structure. And I think it was really good for some of the school personnel to see how that actually works. Because in an emergency, they already kind of do it at their level, but they just don't realize it. And now seeing it all together, it kind of turned the light switch on for them. So we're doing some really great things. Mitch is awesome to work for it. He's turned me loose and let me really do some great things that I think we're going to see some benefits from.
Can you talk about 911?
Hero 911. So there was a hiccup in the beginning with them getting paid. So we just actually got the emails this week about setting up our geofences on all of our buildings. So I'm in the process of actually doing that right now. We have a meeting tomorrow with the principals and to instruct them on how to set up each of their buildings. So what it will be, it's an app on your phone, and you can, in the case of an emergency, it will tell you all you have to do is hit a button and swipe. It'll notify any officer who has the app on his phone within a 25-mile radius of a situation at your building. In all the incidents that are either accidental trips or purpose trips, you've had officers there within less than 30 seconds. Okay. That's either on duty or off duty. So the main key in any armed intruder situation is getting law enforcement to confront the bad guy as soon as possible. This is going to make us a lot better off. So that should be, hopefully will be all up and running by beginning of school, I'm hoping.
Who will have the app on their phone?
So we're going to ask every teacher to get the app, every administrator, anybody and everybody that can in our buildings. Because it might not be an administrator that sees the bad guy walking up with a gun. It might be a custodian. And we want them to be able to activate it just like anybody can.
I think the positive too of this, if I'm correct, is the off-duty that it alerts is anybody. So if there's a Bremen PD that's here in town and off-duty, they're going to get the same alert to respond.
Absolutely.
So it's everybody. I mean,
any officer that has the app.
everybody.
And so then now what we will do is we will get a hold of Marshall County, Bremen, ISP, any officer that's, and then with them we're also going to reach out to South Bend, Gasco County, Stark County, because those officers may be in Plymouth
Right.
if there ever was an emergency. And they would be notified. And it gives you the exact location of the incident. So it's a great tool.
Well, we certainly appreciate everything you do, Brownie, and keeping our people safe.
Thank you, sir. I'm trying.
Yeah, do a great job.
Appreciate that.
Sure is.
It's a team effort, so thank you all too.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you. I didn't ask, does anybody have any other questions?
Pretty self-explanatory.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 3.2, receive PCA reports. Candy?
Yes, this has been a little rough year. We've had hires, 3 hires at three different buildings, and they quit, and then with rehires for the building secretaries. They're the ones that do all this work. So it's been, and then the State Board of Accounts changed the upload information for Gateway and how it's done. So it's been a learning curve for all of us. Right, Val? So Val and I have tag teamed all of these, and they're valid and good. And here they are. If anybody wants to look at them ever, we always have them on hand. And again, like I said, we also do monthly. So you're catching things as you go. So it's not a horrible mess there. Yeah. So, and they've all done great. I mean, they've been troopers because, they're kind of out there by themselves. And so we've tried to help as much as we can, but we don't have the same system they do. But we've learned a lot.
So
here they are.
the minutes will reflect that we've received these reports. Thank you. Item 3.3, consider the Michiana Behavioral Health Care Center Agreements 2022-23. Jill.
Me. Yes, this is our annual agreement, as we are the LEA in the area, and we provide educational services for students that are in long-term care with Michiana Behavioral Health. So we ask that you accept our agreement. Again, this is an annual event for us, and so there are no changes to the contract.
That was what I was going to ask. Okay. All right, you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 3.4, consider equitable education solutions agreements 2022-23. Jill again.
It's me again, and this is part 2 of what our original agreement was with Equitable Education Solutions, where they came in and did an audit with all of our district initiatives, and one of the pieces that was accepted back in February and re-accepted in March is that they did a curricular audit. And so one aspect of that is to do curriculum mapping, alignment, and pacing. And so we're asking for the acceptance of this agreement so that our ELA and math have been chosen as our first guides, because ELA is the most complex as it pertains to standards, the curriculum tools, and summative assessments. Math was chosen because it was a K-12 adoption year, and that the team can work with the district as we go through that first year of implementation. Following this year, it is our plan and anticipation that we would then have the curriculum work with science and social studies. This takes the heavy load off of teachers doing the work. It is cumbersome, it's intense, and so EES can do all of those pieces as we work through the other professional initiatives we put in place. So we ask you to accept this agreement. Okay.
You've heard Jill's recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? Questions for Jill? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 3.5, consider North Central CTE Agreement 2022-23.
Yes, the North Central CTE Cooperative is following the recommendations of the State CTE Director, Tony Harrell, to have an agreement with each group that hosts any shared programs for CTE, which Plymouth does. Jen Felke has worked with Jeff Huyen to create the agreements, and this agreement needs our board's approval. And so therefore I recommend the approval of the agreement between the North Central CTE Cooperative and PCSC.
Okay. You've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion or questions for Mitch about this? No?
This is what we've had before.
It is, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 3.6, consider agreement for abandonment of solar installation.
Yeah, this is an addition to our earlier solar agreement with Pelmon. I would like to add this letter, which states that at the end of the lifespan of the solar field, PCSC will responsibly remove it from the premises. I recommend approval of the additional letter to the original agreement of Pelmon and PCSC.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Yeah, that's
My guess is you'll replace it.
probably. But, I mean, it'll last forever, and then who knows who will be here.
30.
Right, but it needs to be in there. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 3.7, new and revised policies and guidelines, first reading.
Yes, you have in your information packet the next group of Neola policies, volume 34, number 2. This is the first reading of these policies, and I want to thank Laura Pryor for joining us as we went through the policies this time with our Neola rep, and then she had subsequent meetings afterwards to clarify our positions on some of those policies. So she, as always, did a great job of helping. I recommend the approval of the first reading of the Neola policies as presented.
We don't have to vote on them, right?
Do you vote on it the first time?
Mm-hmm. Second, no.
Then never mind.
This is just the first reading.
All right.
We'll see them again, and then we'll have to vote.
All right.
All right.
Well, if you have any questions,
Yeah. Okay, item 4, superintendent's remarks.
Yes, I would like to introduce the new principal at Menominee Elementary, Ryan Welch. Ryan has been at Plymouth most of his life. He is a graduate of Plymouth High School and Ball State University. Ryan has been at Riverside Intermediate for 9 years, 3 as a teacher, 6 as the assistant principal, and this past year, Ryan was the recipient of the Assistant Principal of the Year for our entire state. Ryan, do you have anything that you would like to share? The floor is yours, Ryan.
Yeah, you texted me and warned me yesterday. I'm really excited. July 13th, which we were getting ready to go out and celebrate my mom's birthday that night, and Mitch and I had talked, and he told me that this was the move that was happening. I'm really excited and ecstatic to be at Menominee and continue to be here in Plymouth. I want to thank Mrs. Van Driesch and Mr. Mayborder and of course, Mr. Kaufman, who I worked under for the last 4 years, and Mrs. Hershey before that. They taught me a lot, and I know there's a lot still to learn, but I feel like I'm in a position where I'm ready to lead, and really looking forward to Thursday. I have a meet the family night at Menominee, a couple different sessions, and then our back to school night next week, and then Wednesday we're ready to roll. So we're currently fully staffed with teachers at Menominee, so that's half the battle. I always sleep well, but this last week there's been a couple nights where I wake up at like 4 and what am I going to do about first grade? No, it's good, and I'm really excited to work with the families and teachers and students at Menominee. I'm really looking forward to that opportunity. So thank you all.
We're excited too.
Very deserving.
Very excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're gonna have to call Shelley in to cover first grade.
Well, Mrs. Bussey did text me about 2 hours ago from the Webster, so I asked her though first last week about my first grade position, and I got shot down.
Well, now you have to figure out childcare.
You're right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're very happy.
And look for Ryan Welch and Jake Singleton on WNDU Wednesday the 10th. They have volunteered to be interviewed about the opening of school. Looking forward to that.
Did you volunteer for that?
I'm volunteer.
That's how it works.
So, moving right along. I would like to thank Feed the Children for the generous donation of $1,895.24 and $1,515.49 for books, food, and school supplies. All of the administrative group spent the day in this room working with Solution Tree, and all of our books are over there. We're going to break them back out tomorrow and work all day tomorrow on it too. We are learning quite a bit about how to create professional learning communities. We're very excited about that. It has been very fun and informative, and enjoyed working with all of the principals on that. That's been really exciting. Next meeting is September 6th at 6 o'clock for an executive session. That's all I have.
Okay. So you might have any questions for Rich? All righty. Audience participation. Still nothing? Just checking. That's good. All right. Hearing nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Meeting adjourned.